I'm not perfect. Sometimes I catch myself being a bit too perfectionist in these kind of things, and then I have to really refocus. But yeah, there were definitely days of tears, but there are also a lot of days of joy.
Hi, another exciting day, and we are ready for the next episode of Behind the O. I apologize for my look today. It's a bit of a special guest we have today. I am going to interview a person who, together with her team, invents and creates all the products that we are selling in Oriflame. And what products are those? Well, you're right, it's beauty products. So that's why you see me without half of my makeup, because I am meeting today our VP Product Marketing, Alexandra de Greck. And Alexandra, hi Alexandra.
Hi.
And Alexandra promised that she will help me to fix up my look in a quick way. Because Alex, she is a very busy person. You know, I mean, we used to travel together quite a lot, Alex, but she's in the meetings, you know, she always has something to do. And that is why she has those little secrets in how to look good in a very short time. And I decided that I'll use my position as the interviewer on Behind the O and actually get to those secrets. So here we go. Welcome to Behind the O with Alexandra de Greck.
Hello.
Alex, welcome. So happy to see you here today. And you know, it actually looks like a typical social selling beauty company video. You know, two women, makeup in front, and we're talking about it. But that's not the purpose today. So the purpose today is to speak about you, to get to know your story. But I just couldn't hold myself from asking for some beauty tips. So can we just spend now 5 minutes? I have only my foundation and some eyeshadows on, and I would like to get to know what can I do when I'm, you know, like having busy life. So what can I do to look great and spend the minimal amount of time on that?
First of all, thank you, Elena, for having me today. I'm super excited myself. And I also want to congratulate you to take the challenge to come only with foundation and eyeshadow. And that you're after some of my tips, how I do my makeup in the morning. I'm a person who likes to take all the things in the morning. So sleep as long as I can, then do all the things in the family and get ready for work. So I don't have that much time for makeup. But I still want to, like, you know, glow and look fresh and healthy. And what I'm mainly working with, to be honest, is some good mascara, some lipstick that pop a bit, and also contouring, which is my new favorite. So
Contouring is like Kim Kardashian.
I'm not Kim Kardashian, but I really enjoy giving a bit more shade to your face and really let it pop. So I will just share today how I'm doing it. There are many ways of doing it, but
so we are doing contouring.
We are doing contouring.
Oh my God!
So
right,
get ready.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay. So good that you have your foundation already. So that's very good. Then first of all, you need to a little bit lighten up here the areas under the eyes because they're very dark, and you know we want to kind of light them a bit more. So here I picked some shades for you. So I would like you to take a bit of warm beige, and the best is I do it like this, just a bit on your hand. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can blend in a little bit, just press. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's enough. And then you can put a little bit of this porcelain color, so you get a bit of a blending. You put it like this, like a little triangle under both of your eyes, first of all. And if you want, you can also do something a bit above your nose, but that's a bit up to you now.
Okay, good. I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Or you can also use a sponge, also a possibility. Up to you.
I've never used it last time.
I love sponges, so I use a lot of sponges.
Yeah, it's actually quite cool.
Yeah.
It just disappeared immediately.
See?
What do you think?
Yeah, Nice, looks already much lighter.
Cool.
So very good.
Okay,
First step done.
you. So I'll put it back.
Then, as the next step, we take, I love contouring kits. There are different ways of doing this, liquid or powder form. I like powder form myself. So what you can do is you need to take some dark shade to bronze to make it really the shadow. And I normally use a brush like this, and then you look at your face. What kind of face do you have? You have more like a heart shape. So from that angle, exactly, you shouldn't go too diagonal.
Okay.
So you should go a bit more like horizontal.
And
so
how
you do like this,
one?
and then you take this, start here at the ear,
Yeah.
and go to the half here,
forward,
exactly.
yes,
Not
to the
too close, that doesn't work. More like half here,
Okay.
below the eye. So take this, both sides, and then also a little bit here around here.
Oh, that's perfect.
With
So then I
cheekbones,
can take
and-
away my double chin.
Yeah, and don't forget here, because this is where the sun will normally kiss you, so we want a little bit of nice color.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, just a little bit, because we will then later on,
Like this?
yeah, smooth it out. Yeah, that's good for now.
And then I
And
go
then
here.
here, yeah, not all the way, just from
Okay,
here
sorry.
to here.
No.
And then I love this one to kind of blend.
To blend
So
it,
you can
okay.
blend a bit more here, the
Yeah, because
contouring.
this feels like
No, yeah, just
this.
like this.
Like this, like this.
Exactly, on
Okay.
both sides. Very
I'm
nice.
doing it the first time.
Yeah, but very nice, very nice. Good. Then the next thing is that you then take a bit of blush as well to get a bit
I
on
do
your
the same one, yes.
apple cheeks, so you look like, you know, like you had a really nice fresh walk or something. So just a little bit here on your cheeks. Exactly.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
nice. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And the same on the other side, so that you look healthy.
Cool.
And my absolute favorite is the highlighter, because I love to shine a bit and glow, and that's really about glowing skin. So what you can, there, again, many different ways of doing this. What I prefer is apply this directly. So if you can do like on
Dot,
your
dot,
cheekbone,
dot,
here, dot, 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 on both sides, and also one line here, and a little bit on your
So let's see.
eye. 1, 2, 3. Other side, on the cheekbone, 1, 2, 3.
Actually,
And then I
think
do a
it
little bit here.
looks rather beautiful, and I want to take
One
it
there,
off.
on the other side as well. You can do a bit more, so it's fine.
Like this.
Yeah, a little bit more here.
A bit more here.
And then one, you know, line on the nose.
Okay.
Yes, very good. A little bit more. You can be daring, Elena. Come on.
Come on, Alex. It's already daring.
Okay, very good. So
I'm
we
really
start.
sorry for this, guys. I just hope
And
you find
then
it
you can
amusing.
take your finger, or again,
I'll take
famous
the sponge.
sponge.
I really
So
like
again, blend it in. Exactly. Super. See, a little bit of glow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually all for like an easy way to contour. Again, you can spend 30 minutes, an hour on this, but
Yeah.
this is my 5 minutes in the morning.
Thank you.
I have to say that I feel the mascara on the eye is really important in order to get some kind of, emphasis. How can you choose? So first of all, of course, it's always the perfect marriage between the brush and the bulk, actually. So for example, here you have a lengthening mascara. I don't know, you see the brush?
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a curl, because it also curls. And here what you do, you will choose this if you want a bit like longer lashes. So if you have short lashes and you want to curl them, this is a perfect way to do it without all the tools as you want to. And what it does is also some special fiber in the bulk, so then it actually lengthens your brushes. Then we have also a different, I mean, again, as you said, many different volumizing ones. Some people really love a lot of volume at the first start. For example, this one here, where you see a big brush, so you get a lot of bulk with one application. And for some people that's too much. For some, they just love to have this dramatic
So if you
volumes.
go into technology, does that mean that the brush distributes the bulk differently on your eyelashes, and that's where the difference is?
Exactly. That the brushes is very, very important. If you have the wrong brush for a bulk that doesn't work together, you will not get the effect. And then I think all-time favorite is also the more multi-purpose one. So Wonderlash in this case, for example, where you have this brush which is kind of picking really every single lash, so it's very precise. So
And it's a silicone brush.
yes, and you can really then build on this. So this is really more for if you have not the longest lashes and you also want to like just have a nice look but not too much on something, then this I think is a perfect one. So just 3 here that I use on different occasions, but there are many more.
Can I choose, or will you recommend with this?
I would say that you should try the lash extension today.
So what do you think? Yeah, enough?
Very nice. Then what's missing, Elena? Look at me, what's missing?
Yeah, you know what? I understand by your smile that the lipstick is missing.
Exactly.
And I am not a lipstick person, actually. Because,
Why is that?
Because I've heard somebody saying that if you have a bit of a bigger eyes, and if you put like, if you accentuate your lashes and you accentuate your eyeshadows, then you should sort of downplay the lipstick. And then also I have very narrow lips, and I also feel that if I put too bright lipstick on, I sort of show to the world that my lips are no even near Angelina Jolie, and it's sort of bothering me a bit. So that's why I prefer nude colors, and because it just feels like me. And you see, I even sort of did nail polish today, so I was thinking to having this shade of lipstick as well today.
But I think we should be a bit daring today, as we want to, and I really think that concerning your lips, I mean, look at me, I also have very small lips, I don't have big lips, but I think it's still something that can give you some confidence. And
right.
So we have this color, I think, it's a bit more like ultra fuchsia, so it's a bit pinky, but you can try, and we will make it easy now. No lip liners today, we just put it on and make a nice bow. Yeah. Very good. And don't forget to go all the way in, because sometimes people don't do this, and then when you're smiling you see a little bit of a naked lip. So always go all the way to the end.
I would have never chosen this lip color, but I am a person of color and I like doing the coloring, and I agree with you that usually the color bring confidence, but I usually do it with my clothes. So you reckon I should
now you can do it with your makeup as well.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Alex. I think I'm fixed, so we are ready for the real conversation now.
Good.
Good. Are you ready?
Yeah, but there is something, Elena, because you've been such a good student now and learning new tricks and we daring to do new things. So I have something for you, actually. Something special. I just made for you last night. Exactly. And it's a surprise. So here we go. So for my great makeup student, I made you a small little cake with some nice little features of makeup to remember. So well done.
Oh my God. Look at it. Did you bake it yourself?
Yeah.
Look at this. It's basically...
Yeah, it should be this. It was like an hour yesterday night, so...
It's identical. It's so great. Thank you, Alex. Well, you know, it's Corona times now. We are not allowed to hug, but Alex, I do like this. And
exactly.
Thank you so much. But
Enjoy.
I would like to discuss this a bit more. So we're
okay,
coming back to it when we are...
I hope I surprised you.
Into the real studio. Absolutely. It's wonderful. Just look at this. And we will ask her, what is that and how is she doing that? Alex, thank you so much for the cake. It's amazing.
Welcome.
And I just wanted to show one more time how beautiful it looks. And it's, well, I suppose for me, it's some sort of the creativity that shines through here. But before we go there, and before you explain to me about the cake and about the decoration, how does it feel right now? Are you ready to start and going deep?
Thank you for asking. I have to say I'm really used to like quite big stages and speaking to a lot of people, and I actually like this a lot as well. It gives me some kind of kick as well. But this way of an intimate talk with you about myself is a bit different situation, so I'm a bit excited about this.
Well, let's see how we do it, but thank you very much for agreeing for this interview. So the cake. The cake is amazing and the decorations are just mind-blowing. How do you do this? And how does it go together with being a vice president of product marketing?
Well, I think we all have different sides and different roles, and for me it's very obvious because creativity comes in different ways, right? So on the job, I love my job because it is a bit being passionate about your creativity, creating new products, developing them together with the teams, coming up with new ideas. So that's one part. But then I also use creativity to calm down, to really get some me time. So it's not so much about baking or anything, it's really about the decoration of things. I love doing these kind of things. I love to paint as well. That gives me some calmness. So that helps me to relax when I have a hectic day or a week ahead. And the main thing about creating this is not so much about the product itself. It's really about seeing then someone like you being surprised and hopefully be positively surprised when I can give a gift or a small moment to someone that I think I really enjoy.
So you just told me about this caring side of you. You are a very demanding person. I mean, I am with you in the meetings, I hear how you are talking. I know that you are very firm in the things you believe in. I know that you are very direct, and here I think we are pretty similar with each other, because when you think things, you say them how they are. But sometimes being a big boss and having this pattern of behavior, being direct, being demanding, it can be so that people start being afraid of you. Have you ever felt that, you project something that can scare people? And how does this caring side of you and the demanding side of you go together in you?
I think you're absolutely right. I think many people perceive me at a first glance, when they don't know me, as someone who's probably quite professional, but demanding, high expectations, hardworking, and as you say, firm and quite open, direct in the way I speak. And that's definitely one side of me, and I try to use it in a way to be also predictable to my teams, so they know a bit about me as well. I think that's very important, that people can expect a bit something from you, so it otherwise becomes quite hard. So that's one side of me, but then there is the other side of me that loves to create these kind of moments. So, as you said, sometimes I do something special for promotion, or sometimes I just tell someone because I know that the person started working in Oriflame, 10 years ago or 13 years ago, because I marked it somewhere. It can be small things, can be big things. I just love when people get surprised and have a good feeling. And I think I am demanding with myself, and so I'm with the people. On the other hand, I'm quite straightforward on this. But I do think that I show a side that I also care when it's needed. When I say you did a great job, people know that I really mean it as well. I can see if, for example, someone's not well. I can sense that quite well. I have a quite good intuition when I'm together with people, also when we're in a meeting room and so on, to sense a bit what's going on, and I can react to this as well and be really much on more my soft side as well.
Okay. You have this top executive position. You are responsible for all our beauty products. Do you feel the pressure? Is that the pressure?
I think that's just how I am. There is, of course, a lot of pressure. I think so, but I also like atmospheres of pressure. I mean, I think I'm challenged by this. I need a challenge. Then I think I'm striving. So I think many people right now maybe felt also a bit uncomfortable with the corona pandemic and how to act and how we can do our business. I have to actually say, I mean, as sad as I am about the situation, I think I take these situations and then work through them and find new ways of finding ways to work together, solutions, etc. So in one way, I like challenges and I like pressure. Then at the same time, everybody of us needs to relax from time to time. So I have to carve out really these moments for me. And as we spoke a bit about creativity, that could be one way. But I like working hard and I like challenges. So from that sense, I think also I'm in a good place here, because that's what happens every day.
What's the most challenging thing now?
I think it's sometimes when we're not together to still come up with creative solutions and find ways to still brainstorm and drive this creativity, because I think digitally is really hard. I think you can do a lot of things that can be done, updates, one-to-ones. I think that works pretty well, I have to say. But there is something when we have a topic to really think about when we come together, because only in the conversations it really happens. So that I think is a challenge right now, but I think we are finding our ways in the best way we can.
I know that you are from Germany, correct?
Yes.
And my question is, why Sweden? Because you're now based in Sweden, and why marketing? So how did it all start? Can you tell me?
Okay, two questions. Why marketing? I start with this. So I have studied business in the university, and one of the majors I had was also marketing, together with organization. But I always felt a passion for like consumer products, you can say, because it's very close to our hearts and to ourselves, right? So I think I really work with a lot of passion, and I could probably work in any kind of industry, but I think this working with the passion, working with the products that you really use yourself and that you can judge
So you want to
yourself.
associate yourself with it?
Yeah, I think then I'm actually just better in it. So from that sense, this field has always been very interesting for me, and marketing is then also bringing your passion to someone else. So understanding what will trigger this person, so really going deep, and then make sure that this person is so excited about what you're offering as well. So I think that has been always triggering me. Why marketing?
And Sweden, how did you end up in Oriflame, in the global office in Sweden?
Exactly, and I'm actually not just German now anymore, I'm German and Swedish as of this year.
Can you speak Swedish as well?
Ja, det kan jag.
Oh wow.
But let's stay with English maybe
Yes,
now for
absolutely.
all of the listeners. Yeah, why Sweden? Well, it was actually not my choice this time, or let's say it was not me who started the whole journey. My husband and I, we were at that time not married yet, but we were living together first in Munich, and then I moved to a job to Düsseldorf, so another city in Germany. I was a consultant before, so we were traveling a lot, and then I moved there to a client. And then we wanted to be together again. And my husband looked for some job in my area to move there. But then he actually got a job offer from his company to go abroad to Sweden.
Okay.
Yes, and that was not really typical me to follow my husband, I have to say. I have always been quite career-oriented and wanted to do my thing as well. But at that time it was so daring and interesting. We didn't have kids, we didn't have a family, and I just gave myself 6 months and said, why not? Let's do it. I've been hard working before, so let's dare some things. And so he got a job offer, and I moved here with him. And I just said, yeah, 6 months for myself. If I don't find anything, I'll go back and we will do just a weekend relationship again. But then I got lucky, and that was the time that Oriflame decided to move back to Sweden, to Stockholm.
Yeah.
And then I met a former colleague of ours at the Swedish classes. That's how it can happen. And he told me about Oriflame, and I just said, why not? I'm trying it. And I was, I think, the first one signing for the Swedish office.
When was it? So how long time ago?
I started Oriflame in 2007.
Wow, amazing. So it's nearly 13 years now.
Yeah.
So it's quite some time in Oriflame. And how is it going with your husband? Can I ask you, is he still working for the same Swedish company?
No, he actually was working for, let's say, a German company that also had some subsidiary here in Sweden. And now he's working for a Swedish company. So, yeah, he also moved on.
changed jobs.
Yes.
But you're still with Oriflame.
That's
Why?
true. Why? Because I think there's always so much happening, and I'm so passionate about what we're doing. I think that first of all, we spoke about creativity and what my passion is. So definitely, there's a product passion in Oriflame. But then I think also with all the great people I work with, I think it's so exciting to come to work. It's so dynamic. You have great conversations, and I've never been bored. I think that's very important, because in one way you can say a long time. So are you not bored? Do you want to do anything else? But I have to say that I'm never bored. Something is happening all the time. The moment when I think, now I'm soon getting bored, I've done this for a while, then something happens. And that's why I'm still here.
A lot of people answer when I ask them why you stay with the company. I mean, it can be Oriflame, it can be another company. They say it's about people. Why is that so important? Because it's sort of a common answer. I love this answer because I think that I'm here because of that as well. But why do you think it's so important that you fit with people in the company?
If you just look at the normal time spent, most of our time we spend at work, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't like the surrounding and the people, then I also think you should question yourself why you're here. Because I also see people just staying for the sake of staying. Everybody should be here because they want to be here and feel valued and feel that they deliver. And I think it has so much to do with the people. So I want to spend my time, and I work quite a lot with people I like and that inspire me and that are there for me when I need them. At the same time, I can rely on them. And for me, it's this creating something together. I'm very interested in moving on and creating new things. And then I want people behind me who have the same vision and the drive, so that we create something. So I need the right people around me to make that happen. So also a lot of things I remember has to do with people. I think these are the best moments we have together, even if they're sometimes hard. So just an example, when we then came to Sweden with Oriflame, and the first year we were just a few people here. So we had to do the job of double the people and what to do. So it's just like pulling up your sleeves, all of us together to make it happen. And I think I remember we kind of put the alarm twice. So I think 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock some days. And yes, it was long days, but we all had one common goal. And I remember, you know, we ordered pizzas, we all helped each other just to get going. And this is something I remember and I will keep in my heart. And these are the moments that are very important, I think, for me.
You shine through as a very goal-oriented person, because I sort of feel, you know, I mean, it's probably difficult on the video, but I feel your determination. Have you always been like this? Where does this drive and where does this goal orientation come from?
Yes, I think I have always been, and I think you have the right perception. So,
do you have brothers and sisters?
No, I'm an only child.
So high demands on you?
Yeah,
parents?
I would say that I had a great childhood, but somehow I took on myself this feeling of that I'm the only child, so I have to deliver and I have to make my parents proud, even though I can say I never got that feeling back, but it's just has been a drive in myself, and I think that's something I took on through the years. Yeah.
And what are your parents doing? So what are their professions?
They have been also always working, so I also come from a household where the women and men were working, so I think that's probably also something that's why had ambitions to also have a good career. My father actually worked in a big company with IT, and my mother worked in a telecommunication company and also was leading teams there.
So you come from the managerial family, so to say, so you have it in your blood. Have you always wanted to be a manager and be like your parents?
I think what I like to be about being a manager is that, again, creating something together and taking people with me on that journey. And I feel that when you're a manager and a leader, that you can inspire and you can create something together. Then I also enjoy being part of a team. And I'm also a part of a team, right? So I'm not just a manager, I'm part of a team together with you, for example, in Magnus' team, in Johan's team. So I enjoy that as well, working with peers. But I also like to have my own area of responsibility where I can help people to grow and do something good.
You struck me as like a perfect family. You know, you have your husband, I've met you both, and he is a fantastic, sparkling person, really fun to talk to. And you sort of even look alike. I don't know if you have a picture here. Yes. And my question is, how did you meet? How did you create, you know, the family?
I met my husband very early on, so we're high school sweethearts, you can say.
Nice.
So when I was like 18, I think,
wow.
Such a long time ago. So I actually know him more. I've been living with him more in my life than without him now. Yeah, and I think that's very important for me to have this like rock at home. So I know that I can trust him, I can rely on him. He's always had my back. So we met, when we were doing school. We also went to university together, got married and have two wonderful kids as well. And so he has my back and my family has my back. I'm also there for them.
Have you always been so stable? Have you always been together?
Almost, I would say. In this kind of long time, you almost forget if there's a break. But we had a small gap where I think we were just both thinking about, okay, now it comes to a point, I think it was end 20s, when it comes to a point where you're thinking, okay, what's the life going to be? And even though I'm really loyal to people, I felt though that, and so did he, so maybe it's time to think, is this it? Are we going to be forever? Is this our way of life? And we needed a small break on this, but it wasn't that long, it was a couple of months. And we somehow never really lost each other because we were, still very good friends, so we kept contact. And then just realized after a couple of months that we belong together. And then when we got together, we knew that now it's going to be marriage, family, and we are going to stick together.
If I'm correct, you have quite a similar story with Oriflame. So it's a long-term relationship.
Maybe that's my thing.
Exactly, but with a little break. Can we speak about that? Because I know that you have the goal, you know, and the first thing is, what's your goal? Where are you going? And has it always been, an easy path to reach this goal?
It's a good question. Interesting that you bring up the similarities. Yeah, I mean, I have been very goal-oriented. So when I started in Oriflame, and then one of my first managers, you know, in your IPM talks, you're always like, what do you want to be in 5 to 10 years, and what's your goal? And I was quite straightforward. I said, I want to have your job, and I want to be the head of marketing, because that's where my passion is. And I have to say, I personally also love this if people tell me this. I think, don't be afraid to say what you want to your managers, because otherwise they can only help you. And if they are afraid, maybe they're not on the right place. So I think that's very important. So I said this, and I'm happy that I moved always towards this goal. But was it always straightforward? No. And I think that's just how life is, and I think that's something I learned as well. Because until then, I feel that something has always happened quite well for me. I can say as well that I never felt like, oh my God, such a downturn on something. But then I had this goal, what I want to become, and I saw the path in front of me. And then came a time when I just felt I'm ready for the next step, but somehow I felt there's a ceiling, there's no really the space for me now to go there and what to do. And there I just had to think about how to handle this situation. So what I did is to think, okay, should I give up? Should I just leave Oriflame and go somewhere else to fulfill my dream there? Or what else can I do in order to still reach my goal? And what I did was I took a small break, just a few weeks, to think, to really go into myself. So what do I love about the company? Do I love it as much? Or is this something I should just do now and move away? And I came to the conclusion that I really was still feeling a lot of passion for the people, for what I'm doing, and that I've been so long in the company, and that it must be still possible to reach my goal. And maybe it's not always straightforward. And then I have to say, when I got a bit more relaxed about this and came to my sense and felt like, no, I think that there will be something for me here in Oriflame. I got an offer for a really interesting position. It wasn't exactly the one that I was thinking of, but it was something that in hindsight really led me to where I am today and made me a stronger person. So I think that was a good learning for me, that it's not only about, first of all, your performance, it's about the right timing, it's about seeking also sometimes other opportunities, but still to believe in yourself. I think that was something that I needed to feel like, even if I felt in the first place a bit disappointed, like, no, I'm a good person, I can do this, and feel the confidence.
What's your advice to people who would like to advance their career, their development, but there are not so many positions available?
I think exactly like you say, I know how it is as an employee, and I also know how it is as a manager, because I think you always have to understand both sides. So first of all, for the employee, I think it's super important to be open to your manager. The more you can be concrete of what your goal is and what you like, even if you're not exactly saying a position or something, but what do you think you're good in, where's your passion, so that you also make the right match. I think that's very important, to be very open about this. Then I think it's fine to say it once, to say it twice, but sometimes give it some time. Because as a manager, I also know, as you're after, sometimes I see the same thing. I know this is a good performer, this is a high performer. I want to give this person a new opportunity, but sometimes it just takes a bit of time. And some other movements to happen first, and that I think sometimes the employee has to understand as well. So it's good to say it, to get acknowledgement, but then sometimes to step back, because it can also be too much. If you're coming every day to ask for the promotion, it can have negative effects, I think, as well. So that's, I think, important. And then my advice is to kind of say it, leave it a bit, and then it will come.
And then also looking at your career, because you started in, what category did you start your career?
I started in accessories, and then I took over also personal hair care on top of that.
Yeah.
And then I moved into taking accessories, fragrances and colors, or more lifestyle at the time we called it. And then I moved into commercial marketing, heading this up, where I learned about forecasting, campaigns, CDCs, etc. And then I took the global product marketing role.
And then when I look at your career, it doesn't look like a ladder. It looks like you had the job and then you plussed and you plussed and you plussed, which means development on the sides as well. Is that something that is common for marketing professionals?
I'm not sure if it's common, but I think it's something that really should broaden you. So I think if you're in let's say, in one of my teams, for example, you're a brand manager and you just want to be promoted, and we see you as well. Again, I think it's important that you acknowledge that and get some feedback from your managers constantly. But sometimes it can be a smart move to move either to another function or to another category, to to get some more experience, because the more experience you get, the broader you are, the more interesting you are for the company, and also I think for yourself. You will learn other perspectives, I think.
The majority of your team members are females, so there is only one direct report that you have that is male. Do you think it affects you as a manager? How is it to be leading a big female organization?
Good question. I think first of all, I think it's great to lead all genders, so I don't think this is such a thing I really reflect on. Unfortunately, I have to say, we don't find so many male people that want to do marketing. So more the merrier. I think it's good for the balance.
In cosmetics.
Yeah, exactly, in cosmetics. So the more the merrier, sometimes I feel. But what I do think maybe I can do is that sometimes there are some perspectives that I can understand, being also a hardworking woman, and having all the different perceptions, what you need to do and should be doing. And on one side you want to work hard, on the other hand you have your family. If you're not taking enough care of the family, people will judge you on that, which they might not do so much with the males. So I think it's also important to understand the situation of the people and help them, and maybe sometimes give some tips and tricks how I handle this. So I know that one of my colleagues, I gave some tips how to ease up her daily life, so to say.
I want those tips. How do you do?
No, but I mean, for example, to really seek help for certain things, that you can't do everything. You can't be superwoman or superman in everything. So for me personally, I also decided, okay, I can't do everything. I cannot be at work all the time, take care of the family, take care of myself, of the household, of everything, and be perfect. So I decided, okay, I seek help for certain areas like household, or I seek certain help of areas that I just need an expert to support me.
So now what you are saying is that you decided that you cannot be perfect and you get help. But are you still sort of looking at all aspects of life? And do you still go and meet friends? You're a good mom to your kids, you're a top executive position. Even if you get help, it's sort of, because I tried different things. I just don't feel I have time for that all. So what's your position about work-life balance? How do you manage?
First of all, for me, it's not work-life balance. I think very important, because I think it's life, and then there's work and there's free time, or private life. So sometimes I feel when we say work-life, it's like work is not part of life. And as we just discussed, we're a lot of times here in the office, so this is a big part of my life. And I love working, and I'm passionate about it, so otherwise I wouldn't do as much. And it's true, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I mean, the next thing I do is then of course my family, and I try as much as I can, but sometimes you just have to also let go. And of course there are these moments where I feel I'm not doing enough, but then I think you just have to think about what are you actually doing. And I'm trying to be the best. I'm sitting with my kids and trying to help them with homework, or on the weekends I really spend a lot of time with the kids, and we try to combine it in the family, so that my husband and I may be inviting some friends over, which I enjoy, that have kids in the same age. So the kids have fun, we have fun, or we're going out to a summer house and just enjoy the nature together and being out there. So I try to combine it, and I'm definitely far away from perfect. And sometimes, I just leave the stuff in my house as they are, because I can't be bothered.
I can relate to that, absolutely. Thank you. When I listen to you, I just feel that you are very determined. I think this word we already used a lot of times during this pod. And I feel your force, but I also feel that you're shaping your life. But everything that we discussed so far is, it's still sort of like it's all happening for Alexandra. It's I mean, the life is there. Is that so, or is it just your perception?
I mean, I also have done mistakes in life. I have done, not everything went picture perfect. We just discussed it.
Have you done any epic mistakes? Like at work, for example, that you sort of, oh my God, it gives me, it still shivers, all over my body because of that.
Of course I did. And I have to say, I also learned that, this is something I learned as well, that not be afraid if you did a mistake to apologize.
Tell us what it was?
I think one of my, I would say, things that stays with me still, and one of my, it's not biggest mistake, but something that really I remember, was that I was tasked, it was some years ago, but I was tasked to send an email to a small group of people, the group management at that time, with some information. And I was multitasking again, a hectic day at work and doing 3 things at the same time. I had this email written really perfectly, and then I just had to add the distribution group. And, global group, and, I was like, okay, that's it, and I pressed send because I just was in the way to a meeting room. And then I went into this meeting and some people said, oh, we just got an email from you. And I said, what? You shouldn't be, because you're not in group management.
And it's confidential.
Yeah, it was at least not supposed to be to everybody at that time. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm near to cry now. And then luckily I just, Krasi, our head of IT, was there as well. So I went to him and said, help me, Krasi, can we stop this email? And he was so, again, very caring, as everybody here in Oriflame, trying to help me with my problem. And he just started to do things on his end. And I said, now I have to go to see Magnus and really apologize. How is he going to react, So I knocked on the door. He was in a meeting, and I said, Magnus, I have to confess something. Something happened, and I'm so sorry. And I told him about what happened. And he reacted in a way that I wouldn't have somehow thought. I was ready for, getting some, direct comments and being made aware of my mistake, etc. But he actually saw that how much I'm beating myself up. And he said, okay, you took the right steps. I will also now send out an email, etc. So we'll fix this. It's not so bad. Honestly, I've done more worse things in my life. What you've done is nothing versus this. So it's all good. You did what you had to do, learning from the mistakes, and just, it's all good. And then I went back and felt a bit better. But then he came again the same evening to me, see me in my office. And the only thing he asked was like, how are you? How do you feel? And that really made me feel really good, because I felt that, he saw how much I'm beating myself up. So he didn't need to do that. He just needed to help me. And I think that's a great learning. And I think something I would love to do more. And I always have to remind myself about this. But it was a real moment for me, how you should act when people do a mistake.
So are your people allowed to do mistakes?
Again, I'm not picture perfect for sure. So I apologize to everybody that doesn't get that treatment. But I try to remember this and at least be there when things happen.
Mm-hmm. Alex, what is then the situation that can really stress you out? And have you ever found yourself in tears around something that life brings to you?
Well, what could really stress me out is when some things become too much, because I am someone who wants to, do a lot of things at the same time. And sometimes things happen, like, in a lot of pressure at work, a lot of pressure at home, things I feel I should be doing better. And then there come
Do you remember any specific stories?
I have to say, when you ask me like this now, I really have to think, because I know, I can see myself, I can feel myself being in tears and feeling upset and feeling like the whole world is crashing somehow. But in hindsight, I don't even remember what this was about. I think it's something that happens in the moment, and what I do then is really I need to focus and I need to reprioritize, take things off myself, my back. Also to think, okay, who can help me in this? And I don't have to do everything alone. So, and I think that sometimes I have to remember that I don't have to do everything alone, because in one way I love working with people, so give them responsibility as well, and at home as well. You don't have to be the one who's making always the perfect meal for when your friends are coming. In worst case, you order pizza. I mean, it's good enough. What is it really about? It's about meeting people and not about the biggest and nicest dinner, so to say. So sometimes I catch myself being a bit too perfectionist in these kind of things, and then I have to really refocus. But yeah, there were definitely days of tears, but there are also a lot of days of joy.
And then when you do that, when you reprioritize, it's easier said than done. Do you have a life hack that you apply just to catch the moment and to focus?
Yeah, what I have learned also over the years, what I think is a very good thing, is to breathe.
Breathe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do actually breathing exercises, so I take a quiet moment for myself, so I really need to then be with myself. For example, just sit somewhere in a nice chair or lie on your bed or something, and then I do a breathing exercise. And it's like I breathe in 4 seconds, I hold it 4 seconds, I breathe out 4 seconds, and hold it 4 seconds. So it's 4 seconds all the time. And I do this a couple of times. And when you breathe...
Can you show how you do it?
Yeah, I can show, because when you breathe, you can't think. So you get very clear, focused again. And then you have the, then you can go again and look from a different perspective.
Let's do it together. So how do you do?
I'm just, and I'm closing my eyes, and you count to 4 in your inner self, right? To breathing in, and then holding it, breathing out, and holding it in the other 4 seconds.
Okay. Shall we do it? 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Yeah, you get it. And then you're more calm, and you do this a couple of times. You just need 2-3 minutes to do that, and then you're ready again.
It's definitely going into my life hacks treasure box. Thank you so much for that. Right, we are outside now on the streets of Stockholm, and the sun is shining, so why not to take the walk? I actually have quite a big question for you for this short walk. You have achieved a lot. You wanted to be the head of marketing, and you are the head of marketing now. And that was on your goal list. Now it's off the goal list. What's the next goal?
Good question, Elena. What's the next goal? I have to be honest, right now, I think I'm enjoying a bit the moment. Sometimes it's also about finding yourself, being happy and content with what you've achieved, and then you can go for the next one. So I can assure you, if we have the next time this conversation, I will tell you what my next goal is.
Thank you. I think that's a good answer. And what are you going to do tonight? What's on the goals for tonight?
On tonight's goal is to just go home, relax, have a nice dinner, and I think just seek some time with my family.
Alexandra, thank you for this talk. It's a real pleasure to see such a determined, such a goal-oriented woman in front of me, such a strong woman, a power woman. At the same time, I also see, when now I talk to you, how much demands and pressure you put on yourself. But I also see the way that you've made through the years. And I see that at the moment, I don't know if I'm right, to correct me if I'm not right, that you are coping with those demands and that you figured out for yourself how to do it with less damage, if you see what I mean. So my last question to you is that a lot of people around us and who are watching us, hopefully, they feel the same. They feel that they want to conquer the world, and they feel that they need to do it right now. And if they don't do it now, and if they don't reach the goal that they put to themselves now, they will fail it big time. And then they start hating themselves. And I feel that maybe you have an answer, or at least some sort of an answer to people who go through the same things that you went through during your journey.
Thank you, Elena, first of all, for having me. Super exciting, new environment for me, as I said in the beginning. Some kind of advice, not sure. I mean, this is how I cope with it. And I think we constantly learn how to better cope in life, especially when you have high demands. But I think what is very important is that, first of all, what you do, be passionate about it. Because only if you're passionate about it, it also feels lightweight. If it's something that you really don't want to do and you have to constantly do something, this is not going to work. Then I think the second thing is that I've been so fortunate to have really loyal people around me, be in business, be at home, and that I can trust them. So I think that's very important as well. People that you can also sometimes be vulnerable about. So it's not always showing that achievements, but also people you really can rely on to take care of you sometimes. And I think also then to really take a moment for yourself. I mean, we did the breathing exercises to calm down and to reprioritize and really think what's important in life. And sometimes good is good enough.
Thank you very much, Alex, and thank you for coming to Behind the O.
Thank you.